I actually love seeing people progress and become better. So that's what my passion is.
Welcome to the next episode of my Posing Coach podcast. I'm joined today by a special guest and my good friend Maria Andriano. And can I just say, Maria, you're an elite IFBB professional now. Congratulations.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you very much.
When did you win your pro card?
Earlier this year at the Puma Model show in Perth in May.
And was that a show that you were always going to do? Like, did you have your sights set on that one?
No, I didn't.
You were going for the Sydney show, right?
Yeah, I was doing the Sydney show, which was 2 weeks prior to the Puma Model show, and also I did the Arnold Classic, which was two weeks prior to that as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'm so glad to see you achieve your pro card status. Like, that's a massive achievement. And I know you've been gunning for that for a very long time.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's been long coming. I didn't even think that it was ever going to happen. And I just kept, my head down and just worked at what I needed to achieve and work on my improvements in my physique. And just because I love the sport and I love what it does for my mindset and also just for my business and just to motivate my clients and to motivate others as well. So it was, it's something that, it's at the end of the road. It's like a nice achievement to have.
Absolutely.
When you achieve that dream of winning a pro card. So
it was interesting you said that you had to go away and sort of work really hard on your weaknesses and build up certain areas. Like, what areas in particular? Like, I know that you got judges' feedback and they were saying certain things kind of over and over. Like, what were those things?
Well, it was my hamstrings and glute tie-in that I needed
Typical
to work
girl
at.
things.
Just my upper body was always quite advanced than my lower body. Also being so tall, I'm the tallest girl on the stage. So for me, my femurs are quite long, so it takes me longer to actually, you get that development in those areas and stuff like that. So
you had to put on so much more muscle than the short girls.
Yes, exactly. And being a typical ectomorph as well, it's like I've worked extremely hard in those areas to build my physique up. So that's why it's probably taken me longer than what I would have liked to. But at the end, it all paid off.
And Maria, one thing that I didn't mention before is that you're a competition prep coach. You do strength and conditioning coaching as well, and you're also a nutritionist.
Yes, I've always loved every aspect about nutrition, even when I was, growing up and, when I used to play netball and stuff like that. I was always interested in what food does to your body, what benefits I could have got out of it, what maximization I could have got for, optimizing my training and my performance in the gym, on the netball court, just everyday life, what it did and what foods does certain things. So I always was very interested in that. And then that's the reason why I, worked in the supplement shops and studied nutrition.
When did you study nutrition? Was it a while ago now?
Yeah, it's probably 2011 and 12 when I was first started PTing, when I did my certification for personal training, and I was working at Mr. Vitamins at Chatswood part-time. I've had 3 jobs.
So you were studying... whilst you're working at the supplement shop?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you enjoy working at the sup shop?
I actually
Because that's what I used to do as well.
I loved it. I used to work on the weekends at Chatswood, Mr. Vitamins, and I was in the sports section and also crossed over into the, dispensary area and stuff like that. And
what's the dispensary area?
That's where all the practitioner products and stuff like that, and you just learn so much.
I never had that in the sup shops that I worked at.
But because Mr. Vitamins was such a array of people that came into the store, and there was nutritionists, there was practitioners, there was naturopaths, so it was such a big learning pool of experience that you can get working in something like that, because you're working with so many different avenues of what different, you know, naturopaths and nutritionists, what their point of view of, you know, about health, nutrition, training, and so you learn from everyone. So
you're exposed to a lot of different
to all that, and
viewpoints.
you put in a spot as well in terms of like people coming off the street and they're having an issue and they're like, oh my God, what am I going to, this person, blah, blah, blah. So you always ask someone who's more experienced, and then you learn and you
build on your knowledge.
You build your knowledge from that. So it was such a good learning experience. And there was a lot of, it was hard work because you're on your feet all day. And then when the store closed, you had to, you know, restock the store with all the supplements and the vitamins and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my God, all this stuff, like, you know, reading all the labels and researching it and, you know, what I can use for myself, and, this works for this and that. And, so it was a really, really good place to learn.
Great opportunity.
Yeah. And that opened doors for a lot of other things as well. So,
obviously it complemented your studies really well. And like you said, like reading the back of labels, you actually learn quite a lot just by doing that. And then Googling
Googling the labels and finding what they do and so it's just, you know, it was just really...
Did you always have reps and things coming into the shop, like giving you little education lessons?
Yes, I remember back then Nick Jones with Gentech when he first had his carb powder and his first couple of supplements, and that's how he started as well, and remember them, and there was a couple of, you know, other products and stuff like that, and reps coming in and giving you a whole heap of, you know, information about supplements and stuff like that. And
what were the big sups that you were selling back then?
Back then, it was Max's. Max's was really big. I was sponsored by Max's originally, and they were like the mass gainers and stuff like that. So a lot of those supplements were...
I remember Max's. That was huge when I was
really
working in the shops as well. Yep.
And... also, there was Hawley's. Hawley's was big as well.
What's happened to Hawley's? Are they still around?
I'm not sure now.
I don't see a lot of it.
No, I haven't seen that at all. And Balance was another one, Australian brand that was big.
Yeah.
And there was Muscle Tech.
Yeah, Muscle Tech.
Muscle Tech was another big brand that was
Everyone
huge.
wanted the Muscle Tech because Muscle Tech was in all the magazines, wasn't it?
That was because Jay Cutler and all that, you know, he was one of the sponsors for Muscle Tech. So he was big then, and it was, I don't know who... that was, Jay Cutler. Everyone wanted to be Jay Cutler back then, I think.
At Musashi?
Yeah. Musashi, yes. Musashi was another one, I think. Yeah, the Musashi. Musashi was big back then, all the little amino acids and stuff like that. We used to sell a lot of that stuff.
All that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of American brands, a lot of little bits and pieces,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Maria, I wanted to ask you, how's your mum going?
Oh, she's good. She's... Mum's 78 and, you know, I live with my mum. It's just me and Mum.
What does your mum think about your bodybuilding career?
Well, initially she didn't like it.
Because she's Italian?
Yeah, she's...
Through and through?
Yeah, right, yeah. So she doesn't like it, but she's always there, number one fan, supporting me, always there at the shows. You know, if I'm, you know... back at work late and I need, you know, some chicken cooked up, I ring her up and she's always, you know, there. She, you know, she's always there, you know, to give me a hand and stuff like that. But
what does she think about the types of food that you eat based on her Italian cook-ups?
Initially, she was a bit like, why don't you want my food and blah 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 and this and that. But I think she's, you know, I've educated her a little bit about food and nutrition, and she follows some form of kind of dietary advice that I've given her. So, you know, she understands that, you know, certain foods that, you know, certain times of the day you can't eat. So she, you know, she's really healthy.
What sort of food, like, do you suggest a 78-year-old lady eats?
Well, I suggest for her to eat more oily foods like fats rather than carbohydrates. So I incorporated to tell her to have salmon for dinner with avocado and have some more, you know, lean beef and steak and stuff like that. Lots of greens, and her diet is basically a lot of vegetarian based. So, you know, she grows her own vegetables like
cucumbers.
Cucumbers.
You gave me some cucumbers from your mum's garden. That was great.
So she does. She grows her own vegetables, tomatoes, spinach, and she's at the moment it's broad beans.
Yeah.
So she's got the broad beans growing at the moment. So she does a really beautiful dish, which is a vegetarian base, which is broad beans cooked through with Italian spinach, and it's olive oil and all that stuff. And that stuff's healthy. So she eats a lot of that stuff. And you know, pasta is really good for you as well, but you know, not too much. So she still indulges in pasta in middle of the day and stuff like that. So breakfast, she'll have yogurt with some, you know, all bran and some berries and stuff like that. Sometimes I tell her to have, you know, eggs on toast. And so it's, she's really healthy for someone at 78. She's doing her own shopping and, you know, looking after my little niece as well once a week. And, she's very active, so hopefully that continues. And you know, and Sundays we have a dinner with my sister comes over with Isabella, my little niece, and my brother-in-law Peter, and she cooks up a storm. She's up from 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's like last Sunday it was spinach and ricotta cannoli baked. So the spinach was actually from the garden, and she goes to the deli and gets proper Italian ricotta. So she does the whole thing.
Maria, this must be very hard for you when you're prepping.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just
can switch off to that kind of thing. I can switch off
to that. Yeah,
even when your mum's cooking in the kitchen and all these smells are wafting in.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty cool with it. I just say, how does that taste? So. No. I give it to you.
You've given me your mum's. What do they call the biscuits?
Oh, the Savoyardis.
Yeah, beautiful.
They're just like they're just egg. They're actually the egg yolks that I don't use. Mm-hmm. So she makes biscotti from them. So they're the biscottis that you use when you make tiramisu cakes. So she makes them by scratch. So. Yeah. And they're very nice with coffee and stuff like that. So,
beautiful with coffee.
Yeah, they're nice. They're just really light and fluffy and And,
what most people probably don't know about you is that you actually prepped your sister for a competition, but she was just doing it more for the fun of it.
Yes.
Wasn't she?
Yeah, she just, likes...
short-term challenge and...
she's got naturally a quite beautiful, physique. Naturally, she's quite thin anyway, but... she was training a couple of days with me and a couple of days with Cameron Oreb as well. And we just said, why don't you do a comp? And she goes, oh, no. And then, it was like a couple of weeks. And, she looked amazing. She did really well.
How long was her prep, Maria?
4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because she did my diet and
so she was prepping without really knowing.
Without really knowing, and then it was a 4-week thing, and like she was still having like cheat meals and stuff. I said, well, you cut that out 4 weeks out,
Bitch.
and she's one. You got to see her now. She's like thin as and doesn't even train, and she did the first one was an IFBB show that she did. And then she really loved it, and then she did a couple of
Did she?
IMBA.
What division did she do?
She did bikini.
Oh, she did bikini. Okay.
Yeah, she did bikini.
And then what did she do for IMBA?
She did bikini.
Bikini again.
Yeah, she did bikini.
Because she's shorter than you.
She's short. Yes, very short.
Yeah. Where did you get your height from?
Probably from my mum's. My mum's quite tall,
yeah,
so from my mum's side, and my grandfather was very tall as well. So because everybody else is short.
Yeah.
So.
And your sister's got blonde hair.
Well, she dyes that.
Oh, does she? The secret is out.
Yeah, she dyes that hair. So it's like she dyes that hair. She's a little bit lighter than me anyway. So,
was it a challenge getting your sister ready for a show?
She was easy.
Yeah, that's good.
She was easy. She wasn't. No
diva behaviours.
Yeah. No. Yeah, she's just easy.
Yeah, good on her.
She was really good. Yeah.
And you're proud of her? What she put on stage?
Yeah, she did. She's got a great little body. If she really pursued, if she wanted to, she could have, done really well. But there was, she just needed to work at her physique, as you know. But she accomplished that, and then she got pregnant and had Isabella. So I think, when you have a child, it's very hard. She's got other priorities now.
Yeah.
So, she's still got a great body. She trains once or twice a week still.
That's in the gym, or is she doing things outside the gym?
Well, she lives out at Quakers Hill, so there's a guy that she sees out there once a week and takes Isabella home gym, so she can't come to see me at City Gym. So
logistics are a little bit too difficult.
No, she's got someone that she can train with once a week. So,
that's good.
Yeah.
And how's Isabella going? She's 5 now.
She's 5, and she's a little 5-year-old going on 16.
Yeah.
And she loves dancing and she loves swimming and I think she's going to be a little athlete.
She was showing me, because you and I went out for dinner not that long ago, and she was doing a little dance. It looked like a little boot scoot dance.
Oh, tap dancing.
Oh, it's tap dancing, was it?
Yeah, she does tap, ballet, and modern dance.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Yeah, so she loves it. So she's practicing her splits now.
Yeah.
Had to get the yoga blocks, and she's got all my bands, and she's there on the floor with all the 100 million bands, and I don't know what she's doing with them, but she knows
she's
what
working out.
She's working out.
Yeah, she's doing her workouts like Auntie Maria.
Yeah.
What does she call you, Maria?
Zia.
Zia.
Which is auntie in Italian.
Yeah. So he calls you Zia. No, that's cute.
Yeah,
and I wanted to talk non-bodybuilding related, but before you got into all of that, you're actually a high-level netball player.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so what got you into the netball?
I've always, since school, I mean, in Australia, it's the biggest, playing sport in Australia.
Yeah.
So, when you're at school, you play sport. It was softball in summer and it was netball in winter. And I played both.
That's what I played.
Yeah. So I think and then, you go through, all the competitions and the training, and then, you get put in a squad, and then you get, you work up to your level. So I've always played it since I was, 12 years old.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a sport that, that it's an Australian sport, really.
Yeah.
So, and then from there I, played all through my teenage years.
What position did you play?
Goal. I initially played goal attack.
Yeah.
When I first started playing through my primary, when I was playing in primary school.
Were you tall in school?
Always been quite tall. And from then it just progressed to goal defence and goalkeeper.
Okay.
So, and then in my representative netball career, I played goalkeeper, goal defence were my positions.
Yeah. No, they're tough positions. So, exciting positions, though, nonetheless.
Very, that was...
And it can be quite aggressive, although it's meant to be a non-contact sport. Netball's...
Yeah. It is
an aggressive game.
At a higher level, what they tend to do is, it's probably changed again, but they let a lot of that contact through because they don't want the game to stop. So there's a lot of a lot of contacting. So if it's a contact while the ball is in play, then that would be pulled up. But or they would advance that movement and say contact, and then if you get pulled up, you get a warning and all that kind of stuff. So there's lean ways now because it makes it more exciting. So if you keep pulling up contacts, then the game becomes boring.
Stop-start. Absolutely.
So,
did you ever play mixed netball?
I played mixed. I was addicted to netball.
Yeah.
I played mixed netball.
State netball,
indoor, outdoor, I played the whole.
What was your favourite, indoor or outdoor?
Both. I think they were totally different. I loved mixed netball, which was indoor because I played with the guys as well, and it was a different.
Maria, did you know, that was one of my first jobs, umpiring mixed netball.
Mixed netball, on
a Sunday,
and that was fun. I enjoyed that. That was because it was because indoor was quite different because you use the nets to rebound off the nets. So that was a totally different. Kind of demographics of the game, but I do love, my favourite is outdoor netball, which was the proper I really enjoyed that.
I think the courts are the same size though, aren't they? Indoor and outdoor.
No, indoor is smaller.
It's slightly smaller.
And outdoors is much bigger. Yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah, much
and
bigger.
Did you ever suffer from knee injuries and things? Because obviously knee injuries are quite common in the netball.
Or
ankles, rolled ankles.
I didn't suffer any knee or I got a few rolled ankles here and there, but I didn't get any injuries. And the reason why was because I weight trained.
Really?
When I was when I was playing netball, I was probably one of the very few back then when I was, 16, 17, I was in the gym. I don't know what I was doing, but I was leg pressing, I was, you know, running on the treadmill, I was doing like, you know, squats and stuff like that. And, you know, it was just like, yeah, I weight trained, and I think that helped me become really strong and fast on the court, and I never got injured. I never got injured.
No jarred fingers?
No jarred fingers, just rolled ankles and maybe a little bit of a back injury here and there. But just...
Because it's massive, like huge high impact sport, isn't it?
But it is
on
very...
the joints.
But I don't know, it was really bizarre that I never... Everyone else got a lot of like knee, but I got ankle. I did have a big incident, which was at state titles, where I ran into the goalpost and I actually broke my tooth.
Oh, really?
So I got concussion.
Which tooth?
It's
one of the front ones?
This one here. This is
oh,
the
really?
one. This one, yeah. So
so you snapped it or knocked it out clean?
It knocked out clean into my lip. So I've got a scar on my lip. So I was out cold.
Were you?
I was playing gold.
Out.
It was state titles I was playing for Sutherland Shire.
You're obviously going hard.
Yeah, Sutherland Shire. It was semi-final, and it was they didn't have the goalpost covered, and
because those safety precautions didn't come in until a little bit later.
That was because I ran into the goalpost.
Yeah, they're probably like
that was like that's what happened was So what happened was that was the beginning of a big issue with the netball courts with a lot of all around New South Wales. They had, after that incident, like they covered the netball poles with padding now. So that's one of the major rules now.
Yeah, they have to do it. Yeah. And they also, I know that now a lot of the young girls are having to do the preventative strapping for the ankles.
Yes, yeah.
Did you have to do that?
Before every game, we had to strap our ankles. I strapped my ankles every game. Like there was every game you strap your ankles. Yeah.
And a lot of people used to arc up saying, you know, that's going to make the area weaker. But the risk of injury is so high that you're only wearing it for what's the game, 45 minutes?
No, 1 hour.
1 hour?
So 1 hour. They're 15-minute quarters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I always strapped my ankles.
Cut your fingernails.
Nails have to be short, hair back.
Did the umpires used to check your nails?
Yeah, check your nails and everything like that. Yep. And, so like that was, I did that for a long time. I did that till I was 33, 34. And then a lot of the girls that I played with, they started getting married and having kids, and I started
giving it away.
Yeah, and started playing with all these young girls.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what am I doing? Playing with these. And so,
did you ever coach, Maria? Did you ever get?
I did a little bit of coaching. I did a little bit.
What age groups?
I did the adults. I did some adults and stuff like that, and fitness and all that kind of stuff. I did a little bit of coaching for indoor, a little bit outdoor and stuff like that. So. I did enjoy. I actually like coaching. So I think that's one of the reasons why I do what I do is, you know, personal training, coaching, prep coaching, and because it's all about giving and sharing knowledge to someone else to evolve and to be, you know, to get better, and you know, that's what coaching's about, isn't it? Really.
Absolutely.
So that was something that I did enjoy. Yeah. And
from netball, you moved into, you didn't powerlift as such, but you were quite interested in all the powerlifting techniques and movements. I was always interested in weightlifting and training, and I was always weight training and stuff like that. And I was playing netball, and I was over, and I was at, my sister had a hair salon, and in Leichhardt, and Arena Manta, who was my first coach, used to get her hair done by my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law at the time, and she says, "Why don't you do a bodybuilding competition?" I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to get up there on the bikini. What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Oh, you got very good physique. You should." She was Romanian, and she was an IFBB Pro. Where's she living now, Maria?
She's in America now.
Yeah, she's in America, right?
In
LA,
so. And she goes, "Why don't you do a bodybuilding competition?" And I'm like, no.
And Arena's physique was...
She was off the dial. Mental, crazy, Romanian, Eastern European, gymnast background and like crazy proportions back then, and I was inspired by her physique. I wanted to learn more, and I'm like going, all right, okay. And she prepped me for my first bodybuilding comp. It was more a challenge rather than it was like, oh, it's another new thing to do or something. Like I didn't think of it more as a physique kind of, a physique judging show. Like, it is all about that. And I thought, oh, my body's great. I should be fine. Yeah. And it's like, I went up the first show. I'm like, holy moly. I was the skinniest, tiniest girl on stage. And I'm like, oh God, I've got to do heaps of work if I'm going to go up there again.
Yeah.
So that was my, me and Arena she was my coach and she coached me for a long time.
So what gym were you at when you were
I
with
was
Arena?
at Fitness First. I was training at Fitness First and I used to go.
And was she a PT at Fitness First?
No,
or
she was at Waverley and I used to go and see her at Waverley and I used to train on my own and she used to give me programs and stuff like that.
You'd follow.
And I would follow, and I did a photo shoot after my first competition with Arena, and they were beautiful photographs, and my brother-in-law did them at that time, and I had them on my Facebook, and Elite Model Agency contacted me from America. And that's how it started, and I didn't want to do another bodybuilding competition, and they saw
what people don't know, the Elite Modelling Agency, they were actually looking for Puma models, weren't they?
Yeah, they were looking for Puma models, and they saw my photos, Ben. They saw that I had that. They were looking for a kind of like a Latino kind of, Eastern Europe, like a European or like that kind of dark ethnic look with, abs, athletic.
And arms.
So I didn't have those big muscly arms. I was quite long and lean. But the look they were looking for, that was one of the looks, the look that wanted the six pack. So I always had that. Yeah. So they picked a whole heap of girls. There was about 6 girls around the world. Apparently there was a couple from America and there was me. And they gave all of us 6 to 8 months to prep for, it was like a competition within the Elite, because it was going to be paid a lot of money back then, and they were going to fly, whoever got the gig would have been flown over to America for the photo shoot, and it was a whole heap of ads. So the reason why they wanted a girl to be stationary running and with like abs and muscular arms
and the shoes on,
and with the shoes and with that kind of like that look with the hair. So I contacted Cameron Orup, and that's when I started training with Cameron, and
the boys from Base Gym.
And back then he was working out at Fitness First at North Sydney. So I said, look, Cameron, can you help me out? Like,
prepare me for this.
Yeah, I need someone who can train me up and build my arms. My arms, I need to build my arms.
Which sounds funny now because your arms are pretty big.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I need to train my arms. Oh, you've met the right person. We'll do this. So I trained with him like 2-3 times.
You were with him for a long time.
Yeah, very long time. Yeah. We became really good friends, and I learned a lot.
Cam used to do your diets as well. Like,
no.
Did he do everything, or you did your own diets?
I did my own diets.
Yeah.
He just trained me and did my programming for my training, and he goes, you know what you're doing with your food, just like what works for you, and we just trained and did the like I had these fat grips and trained 2-3 times a week, arms, and I did get them up, and it was 8 months. Then I ate properly. I did the whole, like it was like a comp prep. I did it like a comp prep.
I was about to say, it's like a off-season leading into your pre-season comp prep.
So, it was 6 to 8. I think it ended up being 8 months, because each week I had to send videos and photos to the agency in America and they kept saying, keep going, we need more. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, all right. And then it was getting closer, and they said, can you, build up your arms a bit more? And I said, like, I can't. And it's like, I didn't want to take it to that next level.
Yeah.
And the there was a girl that they sent me a photo of this girl. She looked almost identical to me, a little bit shorter, but these massive arms. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't get them like that. So
she was Latino?
She was Latino.
Yeah.
She was South American and, great body. She had those big arms. And she ended up getting the job and I didn't end up getting it. And then Cameron goes, oh, you should do a bodybuilding comp. You're ready. You should do it. I go, oh, no. Oh my God, I've been dieting. I've been dieting for 6-8 months for this shoot, and then
Maria, what sort of training exactly did you do with Cam?
I did a lot of strength training. So
so what sort of lifts did that entail?
Like it was a lot of slow eccentric, arm workouts with 5 to 7 reps, 4 to 5, because I didn't have the strength in my arms, so we had to do a lot of the lower rep ranges to build strength and build the forearms and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of, fat grips and a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it was...
Did you enjoy training your arms? Because a lot of people, when they've got a lagging muscle group, don't particularly enjoy training the area. How did you feel about those sessions?
I loved it.
Did you?
I really enjoyed it. It was, I think arm workouts are probably one of the hardest.
Yeah.
Everyone says legs is hard, but I think arms is really hard.
Why is that?
Because they get, if you really, they sting straight away.
Yeah.
They just burn. And
the endurance isn't there so much.
Yeah, it's not as much as in the legs. So I found that it was painful. A lot of it was painful, but...
Was he into the occlusion style training? Was that something that you incorporated?
He was based on a lot of the Charles Poliquin methods.
Yeah.
So a lot of the training on arms was based on the Charles Poliquin methods. So a lot of the style of training was through because he did the Charles Poliquin courses and stuff like that. So
is that what motivated you to get into the education and the training courses and things? Because I know that you did.
Yeah, I did it because he said, if you like it so much, you should do it.
Because they're not cheap.
They're not. I had to save everything for that back then.
And how long did that go for? Was that the 5-day course that he used to run?
I think it was like...
It was a fair chunk.
Yeah, it was a whole 5 days of the PIC 1 and 2. So you do it in 5 days. So you had to take a whole week off work to do it.
Yeah.
You go through the training.
It was a big commitment.
Yeah, training and also the theory and everything that goes with that as well. So you had to do prior theory work before you did the course and stuff like that.
And the theory work, did that include his supplementation as well?
That was separate.
Or is that separate?
That's separate. That was the biosignature.
Biosig.
Which was another separate course.
Yeah, and you've done that one as well.
I've done that as well.
Yeah. So what other courses what other courses, apart from obviously your nutrition, your Charles Poliquin stuff, which ones did you really enjoy?
I did enjoy Charles Poliquin because he was quite interesting person. Some people find him quite, I don't know. I just thought that he was really super intelligent and I learned a lot from his methods. I don't use a lot of his theories and stuff, but a lot of people don't like. I think that you learn from everyone. You take a bit from everyone that you learn. You don't have to really kind of get something and follow it to 150%. I think, this is good. I might use that, and I don't like that. What he said about that, but a lot of people with Charles Poliquin stuff, they really took it and they kind of
made it gospel. Yeah,
and I just like bits of it.
Yep.
And used some of it, and some of it I didn't like, and incorporated some of his methods into my business and my training, and some of it I didn't. So
don't you think one of the things that Charles's courses was really good at was giving you some kind of a structure to monitor and keep testing your clients? Like I found that side of things was really
that's important. What he made him famous is because his strength philosophies is that's why he made Olympian champions because of that's what made him famous initially, and his he's progressive overloading his clients to get stronger and stronger and faster, and that's what he's famous for. So that aspect of his teaching is that I still incorporate that in my training to today as well.
Yes.
So I believe is that the stronger you get, the more muscle mass you're going to put. Like people don't understand. Oh, you can keep doing hypertrophy, but you're going to plateau
at some point.
At some point. So you still got to challenge yourself in your strength phases as well, because that's how you're going to progressively get better and better. And I learned that from him, because I'm 47 and I'm still growing and I'm still squatting. I just squatted with Paul today and I squatted 140 kilos for 5 sets for 2.
And now, is that your best? Is that a PB now?
My PB was last week, was 145. And
so how many reps, Maria?
For 2 reps.
Yeah, wow.
So me and Paul are working on Paul Haslam. He's now who I'm training with at the moment.
And Hazo, he's based out of City Gym,
City
just
Gym
like you.
as well. Yeah. So and he's amazing, and he believes in all that method. So we're in the same path in terms of what we both believe in, and he loves all that stuff. He was a power lifter before, so he's crossed over from powerlifting to.
I think I asked you about the powerlifting. You said that you were never really particularly interested in a powerlifting competition.
No, I wasn't.
But you love that style.
I love the style of training, but I'm not interested in the actual competition aspect of it. I think I love bodybuilding that much, and I love that aspect of that style of training and that competition. But powerlifting, I feel that maybe my height is I'm going to be up against girls that are shorter and they probably weigh the same as me, and they're going to kick my ass.
Yeah, well, you just have to move the weight further than what they do. It's you're at a disadvantage before you start.
I feel that you're really not interested in that. So but
stick to the bodybuilding.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and coaching and helping other people achieve their goals and what I've achieved. So, if I can inspire other, normal people as well as athletes as well to achieve, great body composition as well as, health and longevity of life as well. I think, weight training is anti-aging, I feel. I think that's some aspect of things that I think a lot of the general population don't understand about that aspect of weight training. It actually helps with when you're older as well. So you want to be able to, go for walks and still play with your grandchildren when you're older, and lift things and still be mobile and be active. Yeah. So I actually have a 73-year-old client, Phylis.
Phylis.
Yes, she's a machine. She's
how often do you train Phylis?
I train Phylis three times a week.
Is she doing half-an-hour sessions or?
She does 1 hour sessions.
1 hour sessions,
and she squats. I've got her up squatting 70 kilos.
That's amazing.
And she deadlifts 60, 70 kilos as well, and she loves it. She's comes with a squat shoe. She's got a little belt with a name on it. She's decked out in her onesie outfit, and she's
good on her.
She looks amazing. So,
and when did she get into weight training, or is that something that sort of
she
picked up
later on? And she was training out of City Gym, and initially she came to me for nutrition.
Yeah.
So I did her nutrition, and she loved what I did with her nutrition. So I changed her physique purely on nutrition firstly. And then we started training, and I said, look, I want you to put you through a strength phase training. She loved it. So
was she quite apprehensive before she started it? Because as soon as you say strength to a lot of ladies, they freak out a bit.
No, she really excited about it. I think she's quite open about things like that, and I explained it to her, and she did some research. I gave her some articles on Charles Poliquin, and she loves all that stuff because she's a teacher initially. So I think she's all into learning and stuff like. And she now looks at all the information and researches everything, and she understands that weight training is for her, bone density, everything. she's sitting on, like I do a body fat, she's sitting on, like I got her down for a photo shoot. We got her ready for a photo shoot and she got down to 7%.
Wow.
And now she sits on 9 to 10% all year round.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And she eats carbs, fats, the whole bit. And she's just, But she's a very unique lady. She's a one-off, like, you know, she's just...
It's hard to find clients like that.
And she eats organically and lives and breathes it. So she's like almost like a competitor. Yeah.
Like sounds like it. Like 7% is nothing to sneeze at. Like that's quite
I know.
That's a huge effort.
And she looks incredible. Like amazing.
Yeah, good on her.
Yeah.
No, that's great. And you're conducting your business, Creative Fitness and Nutrition, out of City Gym?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so how long have you been at City Gym
I've been there for 5 years now.
Yeah.
That gym is probably, I suit that gym quite well. And
why?
I think it's just, it's kind of like an old school gym. It's you know, the original gym in I think Australia. I think it was one of the first gyms in Australia.
So, yeah.
And it's a bodybuilding gym. It's got a lot of history. There's a lot of, you know, it's iconic. The equipment, the atmosphere.
They've still got all the original equipment,
most of it. Most of it refurbished. They look after it. There's Billy, who's been there since one of the owners, the original owner, Billy, with and he, you know, is always there maintaining the equipment. And
I saw I think Bernadette, she posted a picture of Billy, you know, fixing the leg curl or something.
You know, the lying leg curl machine. Yeah. He's there, like, you know, always he's passionate about that gym. He knows the history. And
the one nice thing about City Gym is it always had all the competitors' photos. Like there was a photo board.
There's a photo board of all the competitors that's
there are either trainers or members, aren't they?
Or members or well-known IFBB pros that have actually visited the gym and, you know, and got a signed photo and placed on the wall. So I'm lucky to be up there now. So
you've won your pro card now, so you're on the wall.
I'm on the wall. So like
Wall of Fame.
Yeah. So it's a good atmosphere. Everyone's pretty supportive, and you know, you're there to help one another, and the camaraderie amongst other trainers there is nice. So
it's good.
It's a good gym. So if anyone wants to, you know, get a session out in there in Sydney, I think.
I was just telling Abby.
Sydney Gym is a place to be and to train, and you'll get inspired by like the history of it and the athletes that train in there. And just the normal people that train in there, and you feel comfortable. Everyone's, you know, there's all sorts of, you know, levels of fitness from bodybuilders to boxers there. Billy's got the boxing going on there. You've got
there's
the Pilates.
a new, well, I don't know how new it is, but it's relatively new. Upstairs in the studio, the boxing ring.
There's a boxing ring there. Yep, and they, you know, practice for their boxing and stuff like that. Yep. But I think we've got some, you know, some champion boxing
I've heard that.
people there that train there. So you know, if you want to do a boxing class, you can go and do a boxing. If you want to do yoga, there's yoga. If you want to do weights, there's everything there. And there is some new renovations happening. That's gonna.
So what's going on there? Are you allowed to tell us?
Well, yeah, I can. We're going to get more equipment. Refurbishing the bathrooms, and
I thought the bathrooms were relatively new.
They're going to have a relaxation area where there's going to be infrared saunas and all that stuff. Cool. So there's more
perfect for comp prep, Maria.
Yeah, perfect for, and you know, or just elevating it and, you know, making it to the next level. To Billy's just wanting it to be the best gym in ever. So he's got this big prize, this eye on making it amazing and really, you know, elevating it so to make it as amazing as possible.
Yeah, good
so
on him.
he's really putting everything into it.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice when the owner is passionate about it. Makes you feel good about, you know, going to work at a place like that, isn't it?
Yeah, he's doing a good job. So
great. Yeah. And how are your clients going?
Very good.
Other than Phylis?
Yes, I've got Lucy competing in the IFBB Pro Elite as Physique.
She's looking crazy at the moment.
Yes, she's. I've been working with her for a year and a half now, and now it's crunch time, and she's 4 weeks out from the nationals.
And you said she's feeling pretty wiped out at this stage.
At this stage, yes, she's getting a little
tired.
bit tired and forgetful.
Yeah.
And I said, "You're on track.
Yeah, you're ready.
You're ready." So she's looking incredible. Like, she comes from a powerlifting background. She's got Australian record for the bench.
She's got
a number of
beautiful muscle mass.
Yeah, beautiful round
Because
muscle
of the
bellies,
powerlifting, doesn't she?
Yeah, and that's from her powerlifting background, and that's why I think we work really well
She's got
together.
a good chest from there.
Yes, she's
bench.
got crazy chest.
Yeah, really nice chest.
And she's got a shoulder injury, and she's not even doing hardly any shoulder work because she doesn't need to.
Yeah.
She's
got the shoulders.
She's
no
got
problem.
the shoulder. I said, just do laterals, just do whatever you need. You don't need to do anything with them.
Mentally, it's tough when you've got an injury. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, someone like Lucy, she doesn't, it's not really going to hurt her in any way other than her mental state.
But
Yeah.
I reassured her, and I said, look, your development there, you don't have to worry about it too much. You just focus on your let's just focus on your weak areas, because your strength is your upper body. It's like your shoulders, your arms, your chest. Let's get the waist smaller. Let's work on your glute hammy tie-in. Let's get the quad sweep going on a little bit more. Just let's get some more balance with that, because initially 3 years ago there was, she had that powerlifting, she had all that mass, but it was just trying to fine tune it with someone like Lucy, who's, she's got mentally, she's quite strong, and she just
very strong.
Yeah, strong-minded, and just fine-tune her physique and just work on her weaknesses. So we've been working on that.
Because it's important, isn't it? Like, you can be very, very strong, as you said. Like, the powerlifting is really great for building that base muscle mass. But when it comes to, doing a physique competition, you really do need to iron out the imbalances, and they become more and more obvious when you're in a bikini.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's great that she had all that base from all that years of powerlifting, and it's like, well, you can't do that now when you're going to do a bodybuilding comp, because the reason why she got into the bodybuilding again is because she had that shoulder injury. Yeah. So, and I said, you don't have nothing to worry about with that. You just, you don't need to grow them anymore. Let's just fine tune. Let's work on those areas. So, I trained her today. We did glutes and hammies. Well, I train her glutes and hammies once a week, and then I do quads another day, and
her legs have definitely improved, I've noticed, because I've seen her a couple of times recently, and she's getting that conditioning in her legs.
And so initially when we first started, she didn't like because it was more higher reps.
Oh yeah, that'd kill her.
So she wasn't happy with that. Yeah. So now she's used to it now. So
and when you say high reps, you're talking like 15 reps, 20 reps?
Like not so much 20
or
reps.
More volume?
Just like 10, 12 to 15, but more sets rather than the 20s. I find if you go into 20s, you're going to like exhaust the muscle, and they just make them look flat and not so poppy. So she's just got that crazy pop already. So you just don't want to play around with that. Just let's, more, angles, a lot of leg press, because she can't squat with her shoulder. So there's no squatting involved. So a lot of the
What has she done to her shoulder exactly? Like
from benching.
Does she know what the injury is as such, or is it
the
still
rotator? So a lot of she can't do many laterals. It's just more front, not shoulder presses or anything like that. So it's a lot of
pretty
front.
limited then.
So so that's she can't bench. That's why she went back into bodybuilding. So but a lot of the stuff that we've been doing.
Is that your bum?
Oh no, that's one of my clients.
I was going to say, Maria, your bum's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Bigger as in muscly bigger.
Yeah. So
sorry, we were talking about Lucy.
Yeah, and so we've just worked on her legs just to get that definition. The abductors popping out more, the vastus lateralis popping more. More sweep, and just more definition. Yeah.
And she competed recently at the IFBB Elite, and she actually won her division.
Yes, she did. Yes,
Comfortably. She looked beautiful at that competition.
I think the feedback I got from the judges was that she was world class.
Yeah,
so I'm really,
awesome.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's amazing physique. She could, do really. We're hoping for the pro card in 4 weeks, and
so in 4 weeks she has the opportunity to compete for a pro card. Are they offering one?
I think they're offering a pro card in nationals. So hopefully she can take away the win and compete next year in the pro circuit. I think she'll do really well.
Yep, internationally.
Internationally, she's got that whole.
She's ready.
Yeah, she's ready for it, and mentally, physically, I think the whole aspect of her preparation, she's ready for it. Yes,
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And Maria, let's talk about some of your coaches. Obviously, you've mentioned Arena Manta and Cameron Orab, and you said that you've been coached by Paul Haslam.
Yes.
You actually used to work at John Torelli's gym.
Yes.
For City Gym.
Yes.
And he coached you as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
John Torelli is, former Mr. Australia. He actually, I think,
He's won the universe 3 times.
3 times.
I don't think anyone else in Australia, or I don't think anyone else on the planet has won it 3 times,
and
have they?
he made Olympia, came, I think, 2nd or 3rd or something.
He was in
the Olympia, yeah.
He's
crazy
achieved
physique. He's probably one of the, if you look back in the era of bodybuilding, I think you would say he's probably one of the most amazing physiques to come out of Australia ever, I think.
Aesthetically had a very pleasing,
a beautiful body,
shape,
So,
and I was talking to you off air before, and we were talking about funny stories with John Torelli, and I said to you, my favourite photo of him ever is him standing in the nude out the front with a watering can.
Yes, you have to get him on the show, on your podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, he's quite amusing and very entertaining to have, and he has some amazing stories and he's shared a lot of them when I was working at Broadway, some of the stories when he competed and stuff. And he's, he was back in the era when, when it was Lee Haney. He competed with Lee Haney and...
that's incredible.
Yeah, Milos Sarches, who
also coached you.
Me as well.
He's coached me too.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he was
Milos
good.
is another one that's got so many stories.
And knowledge kind of flowing out of his
unbelievable,
head.
Amazing. I'm so lucky to be able to, so fortunate and lucky to be able to come across these wonderful and amazing people that it has inspired me and motivated me to what I am today.
Yeah.
So I really thank every one of them that's crossed paths with my journey in the bodybuilding arena. So it's incredible, and especially John Torelli, who's got a wealth of knowledge and So
laughs along the way.
There's a lot
Maria,
of that.
I want you to tell everyone the story of the Iggy photo shoot.
The photo shoot. It was
with John Torelli training you.
He was training me. I was getting ready for the Arnold Classic in Europe in Madrid, and I was prepping with Milos, and I wanted John to train me with Milos Sarches' program. And he goes, okay, yes, let's do it. This stuff's amazing. And he was like, he was so enthusiastic about and he's open to, he was so enthusiastic about.
Which most coaches aren't. They get all funny about that.
And he was he goes, I want to know what he does and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, okay, all right, I'll get my friend Iggy and we'll do a video photo shoot at Broadway Gym, and he goes, we'll do a leg session. Okay.
So John Torelli is training you for a leg session.
Leg session, yeah. It was a leg session.
And it was Milos's
program. And I said, we'll do it on Sunday. I'll get Iggy, he's going to come and he'll do the video and the whole thing. And then rock up Sunday, John rocks up and he's oiled up, tanned up. Okay, where do you want me?
And his shirt was off. You said his shirt was off.
And
he's coaching you.
Yeah, and Iggy's like, oh my God. And I'm like, John, we're doing legs, aren't we? He goes, oh no, I've changed my mind. We're going to do chest. Okay, all right, okay. So we ended up doing a chest workout, and it was I ended up being in the background. and it was like John doing a chest workout, all oiled, and it was incredible because he looked. I didn't know. I've never seen him take his shirt off, and this was like he's in his 50s. He looked incredible.
Yeah,
looked incredible. Like amazing. It was just. Like it was once the camera was on, he was on. He was on. I'm like going,
Iggy must have thought that was so funny.
It was, and I'm like after the whole thing, I sat in the coffee shop. I said, "What was that?" I couldn't believe it. It was out of like next level.
I know you've got a lot of stories about that, so I'll have to get some of the like we were talking about Felicity and a few others that
she managed Broadway for 15 years. Yeah, so she's got a lot of stories. Yeah, very entertaining. Very entertaining.
No, and, that's cool.
He's and it was But I have to admit, John really took Milos's program and did the training to a T. All the giant sets and stuff like that. So
which is what Milos is known for. Sets,
so when Milos, when I was doing online with Milos, he. That's my little niece doing push-ups.
Isabella.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah, she's not
bad.
How
is she there? She looks like she's about 4.
3.
3?
Yeah.
Princess outfit doing push-ups.
So...
There's your mum.
Oh, my goodness. That was for Isabella. So he really took those programs and practiced. We did the whole thing, and that killed me almost. I did a whole prep with that for the Arnold Madrid with giant sets and that's cool. Yeah, and I have to admit it worked. I mean, I can't do it now like for long periods of time, but I did a whole prep for like 4 months doing giant sets. Yeah. And let me tell you, it got me in the best condition ever.
Yeah, they work, don't they?
They do.
They're just
they really
bloody
do work.
hard.
It's just hard. So, but what that did for me, it's built my endurance and my
probably your headspace as well, like
too.
Mentally.
And it just got me stronger for my other trainings, like my strength training as well. So it put me through another level of pain.
Yeah.
My threshold for pain. So that
it does switch it off, doesn't it?
It does teach you to your mindset a lot. So that taught me a lot of that with that style of training as well. So
you've worked with a lot of people, and we're also talking about some of your mates and things that you train with, just to sometimes it's nice just to have someone else there to share the session and motivate each other. You were talking about Steve.
Yeah, Steve Curran. I train with Steve.
You training buddies?
Leg training sessions with him once a week. The last couple of shows, his style of training I quite like. He's very intense. I did a lot of band leg press work and stuff like that. So so like that was good. He helped me a lot in my leg training, because that was some of the areas that I needed to bring up. So always looking for ways of learning from people and different styles of training as well. So so that's
cool.
Really, really good. And I love training with different people. I like to learn from others and they can learn from me, and you've got to be open about all that kind of aspect of training, because there's so many different ways you can skin a cat. So if you can find something different, but I always do believe is always keep it simple and try to...
That sounds like someone I know.
Yeah.
Justin says that.
And make it... Oh, does he? But make it... If it works for you, just don't change something too drastically, because you just,
Everyone's different.
Everyone's different. So, I mean, Justin, he's got a way and he looks incredible when he gets ready for comp. So he's got a way that... And I've worked with Justin as well, and he's amazing. And he helped me a lot in my last, and he's one of the reasons why I got my pro card. Worked on my weeknesses with my glutes and hammies.
Because you were doing glutes and hammies with Justin.
I did glutes and hammies once a week. It was a killer.
Yeah.
It was isolating my hammies, glutes and especially more my hamstrings, glutes was not an issue. The glutes have always been dominant. It was more my hamstrings.
Because your issue was, and like I noticed this as well, your glutes will take over the exercise.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for you to switch your glutes off, so your hamstrings are doing something.
So I really worked on my hamstrings with Justin, and I've never had hamstrings look like that. I had my adductors popping.
You did.
You know, everything and it's just it took my legs to the next level. So
that's awesome.
Really grateful for that, and Justin, is amazing, and he knows his stuff, and it was another aspect of training as well, and he looks phenomenal. Like the level of conditioning that he achieves is phenomenal. So, I've never seen anyone that at that level. So I've been honoured to be trained by him as well. So,
thanks, Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you. Maria, I have to say congratulations once again on achieving your Elite Figure Pro card. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having
I've loved
me,
having
Amy.
you on.
Thank you.
Maria, if people want to contact you for training or nutrition or any of those things coaching related, how do they get in contact?
Well, you can contact me. I'm on Instagram, Maria Andriano. You can contact me at City Gym.
Yep.
And also I've got a website called creativefitnessandnutrition.com.
Yep.
Also on my Facebook as well. So all my details are on all of those social media forums. So easy to contact via email or, text message or anything like that, or even City Gym. So
great.
I think I'm pretty easy to get
to find.
So if anyone wants a training session or wants some nutrition advice, have a training session.
Or to be taken through a killer workout.
So
you're the one.
Yeah.
Good on you. Yeah. Thank you very much,
Maria.
Thank
you for having me, Amy. Thank you so much.
And if you'd like to find out more about today's episode, or also if you'd like to get in contact with me, visit myposingcoach.com or find me on Instagram at myposingcoach. Thanks for listening. Bye.